When people say, you know, who's DriftHQ, and I say I am, right? Because I carry it. I bleed DriftHQ.
What's going on, guys? It's Savio with DriftHQ.
I decided to put a shop together to help other people also get into the drifting. That's how DriftHQ was formally founded. The vision was still to be able to spread the word and get as many people involved in the sport.
From day one, you know, Duarte has been the major mastermind behind all of this. I think the changing point was when we came up with the parts van. It was a lot of faith, believing that it was meant to be and it was going to happen. A lot of hard work, a lot of investment. We never really looked at it as, is this going to work? We looked at it as, we're going to make it work. When Adam jumped in, that's the change. How did that happen?
Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era.
Welcome back to the Circle Drift podcast. Again, thanks to all of you that stop in every single week for a brand new episode. And of course, please feel free to leave your feedback in the comments. I know I'm not always down there responding to everyone, but I am looking and taking notes to better the podcast in the future. But today we are actually at Chase Bay's customer appreciation event that happens here locally at Polecat. And we are going to be sitting down chatting with none other than Savio from DriftHQ. And if you have no idea who Savio is, he is one of the co-founders of DriftHQ. And his come up into drifting is, let's just say, pretty interesting, especially being from Brazil. But look, I know a lot of you guys are here because you're trying to get into drifting or maybe just further your skill level. And there's no better way to do that nowadays than sim drifting. And lucky for you guys, this show is presented by SimHQ, so you can always save 5% off on your next upgrade, or maybe you're just getting an entire rig. And on top of that, they're doing a bunch of Black Friday deals, and they can get you some entries into their giveaways. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the podcast. That's gotta work. Gotta work. Don't care. Gotta work. Well, first time for a podcast at Polecat. Didn't have the best of luck last time. Everyone was driving too much. But we have Savio finally. How we doing, dude?
Oh, I'm good, man. I am excited to be here.
You had a little bit of bad news.
I did.
That sucks, but you want to explain a little bit what happened?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone's looking at my face like, what do you mean you had a bad news and you're smiling? I mean, I had a great 30 days, man. I can't complain. God is good all the time. You know, I drove all day, had some fun, and then I guess 30 minutes before the session was done, I went out, put a heater, and I just left the motor out there, you know.
What turn was it on?
I believe it was 8-9. Was it 8-9? No, hold on.
Is that the
1,
gravity?
2, 3. No, it was after the U-turn. Yeah, because there's only one U-turn, right?
Yeah.
After the U-turn, when you go down the hill and you come back up. And
okay.
Before you go down. I don't know the numbers yet because it's my first time here.
I feel that.
So, yeah.
It's my third and I still don't.
Yeah, but I did a heater lap on, came back down to cool off, and then picked it up again on the U-turn. And then it just going up the hill. Before coming down, it just shut off, and I had pulled to the side, and we brought it back. We can't even spin the crank. But it is what it is, bro.
Oh,
It's
man.
drifting. Yeah, it's drifting.
Mine didn't blow that bad last time, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say it, but is it because it's LS?
No. No, I mean, I don't know. You know, could be. I mean, I've had LS engines since I started drifting about
You've always ran LS.
10 years ago, 11 years ago. I've always been the LS platform out of DriftHQ since we started DriftHQ, and I've had my luck, and I've had, you know, good days and bad days. You know, just like Jay-Z's, you know, you see people blowing them as well. You see the KAs,
Everything blows up.
M50s, 52s.
Yeah.
It blows, you know. I don't know.
Why'd you originally go LS versus Jay-Z and stuff?
So I started with the S14 with an SR20, right? But when I started, I was very eager to just learn fast. And back in the days, it was more like the more power you have, the faster you learn, right? It was like a cheat code. which unfortunately it is, because the more
Still
power you
kinda
have,
today, too, yeah.
right, the more power you have, the easier it is for you to learn how to drive.
Do you think it's actually easier though?
I believe so, because you're not trying to drive with the car, you're driving with the pedal. I'd say it's easier for you to break the car loose and you swing left, right, and do what you got to do, compared to actually having to use the momentum of the car and just throw it all and not knowing how to control and then possibly flying off a track, destroying your car. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
So my opinion, yes, it's easier. So I went from the SR to stock 5.7. Not it was stock, right? But we pulled the heads and I ported the heads myself. Yeah, I literally.
Did you have any knowledge of that?
No,
at the
but
time?
Chris Steyer,
Yeah.
he was the one. He goes, hey man, we can do this ourselves if you want. So all we pretty much did was we took that little roughness of the ports to let the air flow easier. So I just spent a couple nights just slowly each port, So but it made not much difference. Didn't make a lot of.
How long did it take you?
It was
think?
about 3 hours a night to do it properly, so 6 hours. Yeah,
That's brutal.
But it was fun. It was my first engagement with LS engines. It was putting the heads, and then we had that for a while. It was a stock 5.7, and I enjoyed it, right? And then I was like, okay, well, I want more power. So we went to CX Racing back in the day. We bought
Yeah.
every turbo kit from CX Racing. Bought a turbo kit from CX Racing. Remember, I paid $800 for the full kit. Bro,
Good
everything,
luck.
everything.
That's insane.
Couplers, piping, intercooler, turbo, manifold, everything.
I don't even think an eBay kit costs that much now. Or
Nah.
is that cheap now?
Bro, so it was, got that, put that on, and it was the first time I made a lot of power. We made 700 horsepower.
Oh,
And then that was too much, because every time I would go to the track, I would, a lot of blow by, spill oil everywhere, get off the track on fire. So then I got pissed. I was like, all right, let's pull that off. Then we threw a stock 5.3. And then let's just go all motor, stock 5.3. Like, all right, stock 5.3. And then it wasn't enough power. But still a last, right? Still a last.
Oh, no.
And I never gave up on the last. And then, okay, let's do a 6.0. All right, let's go to 6.0. More power. All right, I like it. But I always loved the sound. I always loved
Really?
the chop, right?
And I'm
Of
like,
the LS. It was, for me, it was always the sound of it.
couple days at LS Fest, and I'm like, I'm ready to go home.
Bro,
this is annoying.
that's heaven.
No, God, no.
That's heaven. That's heaven. So then from there, man, I just, we had ideas and we just kept, let's try this, let's try that. And then we came up with a recipe, a 4H stroker with custom pistons, custom rods, custom crank, custom valves, everything. And I believe we made the most horsepower out of a 4H stroker that I know to this day. So it's something that me and Freddie Spectune had talked about. He tunes a lot of 4.8s, 427s, 416s, right? And everyone is making 490, 520, 540, and we clocked in on a very hot day 610 out of my 4H stroker.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And people don't believe.
So is that primarily what's making the difference in the tune, or is it all the custom stuff you had to do?
So I believe it's the custom because after 3 years, the car making that, which it just ran flawless. It was nothing but suspension work and tires and feel. And in March, we went to the LZ Tour in New Jersey, and on my third lap, I blew the motor, right? After 3 years, so I'm like, okay, 3 years, I should have refreshed it. My engine builder, shout out to Engine Mike, Outcast Performance, he reached out and said, yo, let's pull the engine. But I was busy. I was like, I think we can get another year out of it. Yeah, so that was a bad mistake. You should listen to your engine builder. We blow the engine, and then we have the first round of Pro-Am at Ledford City within a month. So then we reach out to all the brands that work with us the 3 years prior to that. And like we can't turn these parts around in 30 days. Like there's a lot going on. Like, oh, okay, we get it. So what do we have close to it? Oh, we have this that's similar to this. We have that that's similar to that. So like, all right, well, let's get off-the-shelf parts. We did. Put it all together. Similar tune, same feel. We got like 550 out of it. So that's how I for sure knew it was, the recipe that we put together.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, so where were you making the parts then, since they were custom?
So it was the pistons. Texas Speed was the one that made the custom chems, and it was chems. The most important out of it was the chems. They had to cut fresh chems for it, and then they didn't have time.
What was different? Was the lobes just bigger? I assume.
To be honest, I'm a driver. And just a
Not my
driver,
expertise.
right?
That's
I
fair,
can take it
that's
apart
fair.
and put it back together.
Yeah.
But all the small little details, it was always up to the boys. The boys were the one had all the information, and they just couldn't cut the chems in time, and we couldn't find the same pistons. They didn't make the same pistons anymore. So now the pistons had a different shape. The compression was the same, but it was a different shape, which I don't understand much about it, right? I'm like, okay, well, it will work. They're saying it's very similar. It will work until you put in the dyno, until you have the same feel, and then it doesn't, right? Yeah. So I believe to this day we have in record. Freddie has a file from the tune of the most horsepower out of a 4/8 stroker. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So okay, then since you come from a big LS background, what do you think about? I know the big block's not an LS, but that's a crazy NA power plant. So like, what is your idea on that?
I love it.
concept?
I love it. I mean, it's not an LS, but it's similar, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about the torque. I'm all about being responsive. I guess you could call me lazy. Maybe I'm lazy because I mean, when you're driving with the JZ car, your footwork has to be, on point. You got to be there. You got to be waking up the car, and when you're driving an LS engine or a big block, it's responsive. It's there, when you need it. Like you make a certain amount of horsepower up to 2,000 RPM, then you make stupid horsepower from 2,000 to 5, and then you make ridiculous horsepower from 5 to whatever, wherever you limit the car. So it's always there. Now, when you're talking about a turbo car, there's the lag in the beginning, which you have to wake the car up, or you have to, use nitrous to keep it up, where, the V8 and the big block is different. But there's haters out there. They're gonna say it's BS. They're gonna say, oh no, it's whatever. But to each its own. So it's my opinion. It's how I like it. It's what I chose. I have a JZ in Japan. I love the JZ. I'll never bring a LS to Japan. I'll keep my my one JZ in Japan and leave it the way it is, bone stock, because I turn hundreds of laps every time I go, and it doesn't give me one issue.
I gotta go there.
It's
I gotta go
definitely
there.
a place to go, bro.
Yeah. It's always interesting to see the different, I guess, driving styles or wants to. Because I personally, now that I have driven the RB car, I like that foot dance that you're doing the entire time. And then I'm back in this NA thing, and it's just like I'm clutch kicking the shit out of it, just trying to do something at all. So that's interesting. So did you ever get to drive the big block car?
I did not. No.
Oh, you haven't yet?
No.
Why?
No. I mean, I'm not, to be honest, I'm never up there at the compound at all. No, I am, so I drive up twice a month, or whenever we have events coming up, or when I'm working on the car, but I'm actually 4 hours away. I'm in Fort Myers.
No shit. I didn't realize it was that far.
Yeah, I'm in Fort Myers, so I'm a little down south.
Were you always that far away?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I've been a little further down. I wouldn't either. I have a thing. I don't like to drive anyone else's car because I have a heavy foot, and if you tell me to drive it, I'ma drive it. And my driving is not. It's not very. I only know how to drive one way.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I guess for DriftHQ though, because you were there for pretty much the beginning,
Yes,
essentially.
yes.
So how was that experience from the jump to like where it's become now? I mean, it's an insane animal now. And what part did you play? Like to anyone that doesn't know.
So I mean, I am one of the co-founders of DriftHQ. No longer an owner anymore. But from the get-go, from the beginning, from a small 10 by 10 tent with nothing on it to, you know, what we are today. And it's funny because when people say, you know, who's DriftHQ, and I say I am, right? Because I carry it. I bleed DriftHQ. My wife hates that 3/4 of my closet is DriftHQ. Yeah,
It's all
you know,
black.
yeah. So there's my wife's side, which that she chooses for me to wear, and there's my side. So she has 1/4 of colorful collars, and the rest is all black and DriftHQ. And
Dude, she color coordinates my clothes too. I'm not about that,
so
but
it's literally like that, you know. So, but from day one, you know, Duarte has been the major mastermind behind all of this, and we work together. A lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. And people don't really see behind the scenes. You know,
tell me about it.
It wasn't from night to day. It was from being, I would say, 65 days of the year on the road,
Oh,
right?
with that big ass rig full of fucking parts,
with that big
dude.
rig, yep,
How
right.
many like trailer axles and shit did y'all go through?
Bro, luckily we brought the trailer brand new, so we didn't have a lot of issues there. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot,
That's
but
surprising.
I'm gonna tell you something. My white dually, the boys that knows the dually, knows what I'm talking about. I bought the dually with 20,000 miles 2 years ago. I pretty much retired her, right? She just sat in my yard, and she had 340. Just crashed
Ain't
the
no
car.
way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good,
that
you're good.
was
There's a lot going on,
hilarious,
yeah.
dude. What the fuck?
So from 20,000 miles to 360,000 miles. That's how much miles that dually crossed the country. Like
Oh my
we've
God.
sent cars, the big rig, cars, the wedge, from here to Oregon, from here to California, from here to New Jersey, from here to Kentucky, Michigan, you Texas, you name it, we've done it. You know, so it was a lot of faith, believing in that you know, it was meant to be and it was gonna happen. A lot of hard work, a lot of investment, and we never really looked at it as, is this gonna work? We looked at it as, we're gonna make it work, right? And there was no such a thing as, at least from the meetings and conversations we had, is, you know, are we ever gonna get a profit out of this? Because that wasn't the point. The point, let's focus and create a brand. And we were the first, I believe, and I'm pretty sure, we were the first, I'd say, drift company to host a free drift event in America. Like completely free, like zero.
What year was that again?
This was 2015, 2016.
Okay, yeah, definitely then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was 9-10 years ago.
Holy shit.
At Immokalee, which is a small town next to Fort Myers, there's a drag strip. And in the end of the drag strip, there's a big skid pad with a small go-kart track on both sides of it, right? And we rented the place, and we went and invited every beginner, grassroots, and pro drivers to come drive for free. We were hosting, DriftHQ was hosting a 2-day event. And I believe we still have all the waivers, all the sign-in paperwork for it. We had about 220 drivers. We had about 1,800 spectators. And when I'm telling you that everyone came in and spent 2 days for free, on top of that, and I know these numbers because I've been the event organizer for DriftHQ since we opened, and I buy the stuff, I make sure I have counter of everything. I personally bought 1,500 hot dogs and 1,000 burgers.
Dude, you fed everyone,
Bro,
too?
I'm telling you, we
Oh my
gave
God.
hot dogs, burgers, chips, water, and Gatorade. It was about 1,800 spectators, 220 drivers, plus the crew in 2 days. The most beautiful part of it was a small track, a small go-kart track, a small skid pad, right? So a lot of the guys that were driving, their beginning was there, right? They used to just do street drift, street drifting and doing donuts in the parking lot. So they see this, they show up to go drive. They drove from Miami, they drove from West Palm, they drove from Orlando. They show up to drive. Never driven with anyone before. And our goal was this. By the second day, we want everyone drive with everyone. So we had the tandem and the solos, right? So we started running tandems. At the end of the first day, the solos, we were sending them with a gap. Then we're sending them with less of a gap. By the end of the Saturday, we were sending 3 cars together. Fuck yeah. Because it was slow enough, and then by the time that they got to that point, they were learning how to slow the car down in case something happened, right? So the first day went phenomenal. The second day, it was nothing but tandem. So everyone that showed up as a solo driver left with the experience that they drove with someone else. It was a small track, small skid pad with a small little go-kart track.
Yeah, but you guys gave them the opportunity to be stress-free.
A small layout.
Yeah.
It wasn't too fast, right? And it was just, we gave them the opportunity. And then from there, we saw a lot of like Breakbank, Leo, Tyler, Bryce, they were there. We have Lewis was there. John Porter was there. Who else? I can name, let me see who else. We have Henry, that's, pits with Lewis, Luns. This is just the people that I deal with on regular that I'm remembering the names, but there's so many people that to this day, they're still in the drift scene, and some have gone to, higher on drift, and some just stay on the grassroots. So I believe that we were the first ones to give a whole free everything, man. Like free everything.
I don't think anyone had the budget to do that at that point. So
Neither
you guys
did we.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We did.
You just said fuck it anyways. That's crazy how like, when you do just kind of give back, I mean, things come back to you in this industry for sure.
Oh, it is, and and everything that you do without expecting a return, it's karma.
Yeah. Well, let's go back a little bit, because obviously you're one of the founders. So, where did the entire idea even come from? Duarte, I know, is like a big brain part of it. So he was just like, we just need to bring a shitload of parts to the track.
He approached me. He goes, listen, I want to do this, and I think you need to be part of it. We're going to do this, and we're going to drop ship parts, and this is going to work out, and this is going to turn into something that, huge. You in or you out? It was one of those, I'm like, I'm in. He goes, well, you're already in.
You had no choice, motherfucker. Get in.
Yeah, and I've always believed them. I've been friends with Duarte since I was 15. I'm 35, so it's 20 years of friendship. You know what I'm saying? So I had already been friends with him for 10 years, and I've seen everything that he had done already, how he carried himself and how committed he was to things, So it was easy for me to say, yes, let's do it. And then after that it was, I'm not going to lie, like I was more of the muscle, but the brain has always been Duarte. I've always been the one to show up, organize, and set things up, and welcome the people, to smile, and this and that, right? They call me United Nations because there could be beef between everyone. I don't have beef with nobody. I don't care if you don't like him. If I'm right here, I'm going to say hi to you, and I'm going to say hi to him. I'm not bringing him or taking, but I'm not choosing sides. I got nothing to do with the beef. I'm me. I'm United Nations. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So... but the brains has been him. He's not normal.
Well, just talking to him, like you can kind of tell he's a smart motherfucker.
Very smart. Very smart.
Well, as far as you though, like has your job title like kind of changed at all? I know you said you're not a part owner or whatever anymore, but like obviously you did all the handwork essentially, but like did you ever dabble in the marketing side, or like did you ever get shoved around to different areas?
So my part of it was I helped on the marketing, social media. I helped on the Facebook, on starting the followers, on making connections, on reaching out to brands and companies. We would go to SEMA, we'd just spread out, and each one would bring someone and set up meetings and stuff like that. I am people say that I'm very approachable. So I can go and sit down and have a conversation with anyone and have a good time. So for me, it was easy. It was just meeting someone else, right? I'm a people's person. So that's where I shined, and very welcoming. I love my biggest thing. I love to feed people. Right? I love to feed people. I love to cook, and I love to I got that from my mom. I got that from my mom, So, and what's a better way than getting people together?
You ain't wrong there.
Right?
Yeah.
So we would, at the events, I would come in and while he was laying parts, I was cooking full meals for the whole staff and guests. We had special guests come and spend the weekend with us, and event organizers. At like every event we went to, we couldn't serve everyone because you had an event. But like the organization, they're all invited, so they'll like, oh, they're our guests, but they're here feeding us. And just creating relations, and we all shine in our own way.
So at what point did you kind of, or not just you, but all of you, realize that it's really starting to take the momentum off? Like, what event was it that really, or was it an event?
I think it wasn't an event. I just think it was more like, I do. All right, so I think the changing point was when we came up with the parts van.
That was it.
I believe so. Because that was where things changed, where no one had ever done that, right? And I'm a true believer. When you're the first, it's much easier. When you're the first to do something, right? You kind of control that market. Everyone else is copying. Everyone else is trying to do the same. Everyone respects an original.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, totally.
So once we started taking the van to events, people said, okay, like they're really about it. They're not here just this small little company, and we started showing up with hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in a van and saving a lot of people, saving people from driving 12 hours, 15 hours, 6 hours, and not being able to drive because they didn't have a part. The parts that you couldn't find at O'Reilly's or Advance or AutoZone, you couldn't find in those places, but because they were drift related, right? But we had it in the van.
Yeah.
So that was
Japanese
yes,
bullshit.
Yeah. So that was I believe for me, I noticed that was a change there. And then of course,
what now? Do you mean monetarily or just brand wise?
Brand wise
was the change.
Brand
okay,
wise,
because
yeah.
I never expected the trailer of parts to really make a profit. I would say, right? Like by itself.
No, yeah, because there's so much cost to get out there, right? Yeah. But brand-wise, but that's the thing. Remember, we weren't focused on the profit. Exactly. We were focused on the brand, right? And then when Adam jumped in, that's the change. That's the big change.
How did that happen? Like, where did the conversation begin?
That's something you need to ask Duarte.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. So wait, okay, then on your front though, is that where the ownership changed?
Yes.
For you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was the deal with you getting taken out of ownership?
So I own a business in Fort Myers, right?
Okay.
I couldn't relocate, and it made no sense for me to.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it. It doesn't. It was meant to be. It was the right time, and I believe in seasons, right? So my season as an owner was over, but I still, like I said, to this day, I'm the event organizer and I'm a driver, and I mean, the fact that I walk into the gate and as soon as I put my code in the gate, it says "Welcome, Savio." The fact that I'm welcome in there as if I'm still one of the owners and I'm loved, and I can have access to everything and anything whenever I want, doesn't change. And for me, is as long as DriftHQ is doing great, I'm great.
Yeah.
That's.
Well, you still seem to have just as much, I guess, not authority, but like say so with whatever's going on in DriftHQ anyways.
Yeah, to a certain point, because they know how much it matters, right? So when you have people that care, and there's trust there, so that person is never gonna hurt a brand and never gonna hurt a company, that everything they do is for their own good, so when they ask what's DriftHQ, I am DriftHQ, right? It's because I carry it. It runs on my blood, and it will always, because it's my baby, right? It was my baby. It was my baby, right? So, and I believe it's gonna be like that forever, and I don't see it changing anytime soon, and I don't think it will ever. Just to be part of what it has become. It's just to see our brand overseas on cars, right? To see on Formula Drift, like Adam is taking the brand to places that, it would have been much harder for us to do it alone. Not impossible, but it would have taken much longer, but to see Adam being able to take that and know that I was part of that, bro, that's priceless.
It's so crazy.
That's priceless. That's priceless.
Has there been any other benefits, obviously, besides the branding aspect for Drift HQ of being at the compound around Adam, all these creators? Does it just open? I assumed it had to have opened
Bro,
a million more
relationships.
doors.
Oh my gosh, relationships. Like anywhere,
Dude.
when I put my proposal together, I have I am Drift HQ, so I have the right to use my platforms as, why would I sponsor you? Because you have exposure here and there, right? So it opens many doors, many doors to many brands and relationships that I've never had, you know what I'm saying? So the benefits are endless, straight up endless, yeah. So it's amazing. It's been it was life-changing for me, and it still is, and it's still going to be, because I know there's a lot of history still to be made.
Do you ever think you'll make the full move up there? Or
No,
is it just
because
that complicated?
I have the business in Fort Myers, right? And also I have a daughter, right? Yeah, I have a daughter with my ex-wife who lives down there, and I would never want to leave her behind. Even though in 4 years she'll end up going to college. But I don't think I'll leave because of my business. So first was my daughter, now the business. So I don't know. I don't think I will. I think I'm good. I'm good where I'm at, and I'm good as much as I have involvement in Drift HQ. So I don't think I need more. What I have is enough. It's perfect. I add as much as I can, and they're there for me as much as they can. And
You don't want to suffocate yourself too much, too.
no, not at all. Not at all. It works perfect. It works perfect.
That's
Yeah.
good, dude. So, well, for anyone that doesn't know, what is your what is your business?
So I do
specifically?
granite countertops.
No
Right?
way.
Yeah, I do granite countertops. I remodel kitchen and bathrooms here and there. Just for the remodeling is for a hobby. I just like to see, the before and after. But my forte, the main thing is granite countertops. Yeah. I do kitchen, bathrooms, fireplaces. I do bars. I do restaurants. I do, you name it. I do it. And I've been doing it since I was 16 years old.
No
So
way.
19 years doing it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So how does someone that is a countertop worker, or does whatever that is, contractor, get into motorsports at all? Like, what was your childhood like?
So my childhood was a little bit different than a lot of people that I know. I was originally born in Brazil. As you can tell, my accent can't hide it. Which I love it. I get it all the time. It's the cute part of me is my accent. So I don't think I ever want to lose it. So I moved here when I was 12 years old, but I've always been very into adrenaline. So I was never the kid to stay inside the house and play video games. I was always riding horses, trying to ride cows and bulls on the field, and climbing trees, and going on top of a mango tree and eating mangoes up in the tree, and jumping into the neighbor's yard to steal mangoes, and bro, like guava, like I was that kid. And then when I moved over here, moved to Boston, and Boston was nothing but buildings. So it was like, culture shock, big time.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yep, stayed there till 2005, moved to Florida, got to Florida. I got into cars, and then I got into the Hondas. So I got into the Hondas, car meets, and then street racing, and B16, B18, went into LS's, LS VTEX, B20 VTEX, just a little mix-ups on the Honda world.
You miss those days?
I do and I don't, because I still have a hatch at home. I have a green.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
I have a green Drift HQ hatch, K20, K24 at the house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have the hatch at home. So the adrenaline came from street racing and car meets, and then running from the cop shows up and try to block you, and everyone takes off. And so the adrenaline was always there. And then from there, I went to wakeboard and then motocross, and I broke a collarbone and tore the MCL on my knee on motocross. And I had nothing else that could give me the adrenaline that I wanted. And I'm an adrenaline junkie, big time. So then Duarte goes, hey, I'm building a drift car.
Oh, that's where it started.
This was before DriftHQ.
Yeah.
It was a thing. I'm building a drift car. Should build one. Because we used to ride motocross together.
What car was he building at the time?
So his first car was an M3. Well, first drift car was an M3. Yeah. So he's like, I'm building one, so maybe you should. So he bought his, I think, in January. By April, I bought the S14 with the SR. And man, my first day of the track, it was like, what did I just do? And that's it. And that was, so I felt like it was a safe adrenaline place for me to be at, pretty much, because I was inside a car with the harness / seatbelt, right? I wasn't gonna break a leg, arm, or nothing like that. And then with 6 months in, I gutted the car and put a cage, so then now I was even safer. You had a bucket seat, harness,
that is
helmet.
insane, actually.
Yeah.
The fact that, because majority of drifters are like, they come from some type of extreme sport, whether it's, skateboarding, motocross, whatever the hell. And they're getting into a absolutely absurdly expensive and dangerous sport, but it's honestly 100 times safer. And that's what, like, a lot of the outside world just doesn't even understand about drifting, dude. It's mind-boggling. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Now, when my customers, they ask, what do you do for a hobby? I was like, well, I drift. It's like, oh, what's that? So I show some videos. Because on my page, you don't really see my face. I don't think you see my face a lot. You see a lot of cars and, right? And when I show, they're like, that's crazy. That's not safe. And then I tell them, like, listen, I have my glove is, if car catches on fire, I'm safe with the glove. The suit, I have a extinguisher on my hand, and then I have a fire suppression system in the whole car. I have a 6-point harness. I have a cage. What's safer?
Yeah.
There's nothing safer. There's nothing safer.
Car, but...
you go play baseball, you get hit in the head. I'm sorry, a drift car is safer than football, baseball, basketball.
Oh, it takes one decent shot to the temple, and you're
sitting down, you're
clocked.
here. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing in your office. That's safe. For me, it's very safe. So
most comfortable seat ever.
Yes, exactly, right? So for me, that was always my answer. It's like it's just very safe. It's just very safe.
Yeah.
So
that's so crazy, man. Well, a lot of people have said that you've had an interesting come up. So I'd love to hear what your perspective on what they mean is.
What do you mean interesting come up?
So that's what I'm trying to figure out myself, because they didn't specify at all.
So,
but I've had like 6 people, you need to interview Savio. Dude's got an interesting come up story.
So my the way I see is this. My childhood was a little bit different. I lost my dad when I was 6. And then my mom was taking care of me and my brother by herself. The age of 12, she brings us to America, and she's just very busy working. So from the 13, I had to raise myself, right? So I had to be
all that time.
Yeah, so I had to become an adult in a very early age. And that being said, I just realized that I had no choice but to be an adult. And the earlier that I realized that working hard for everything I wanted was time for me to start right there and then. It became easier to just get what I wanted, right? And I just started just chasing whatever I wanted, chasing whatever dream I had, and then went from having nothing, 0, to working for my own self. And then when I started drifting, I tell people this, and people laugh, because I was at a certain point on my business when I started drifting, which when you talk about drifting is a lot of money, right? So you start drifting, you have money goes down, drifting goes a little bit up, right? Because you spend all the money on it. Well, for me, it was drifting started growing, and my business and my life started growing too. Why? In order to go drifting, in order to buy better parts and build a better car, you got to work harder, right? And that's what I did. So the 40 hours was no longer a thing for me. So for me, it went from 40 to 80 because 40 barely paid the bills, 60 paid the bills. Now, if I wanted to drift, I need to clock in another 20 to make up for that, right? And now just imagine all those years at 80, it adds up to something.
Yeah, I mean, you're doubling your income.
Right?
Like that, so yeah.
And then it just took me, it made me smarter, it made me more ambitious, gave me more drive on the business, which helped me.
Yeah.
Like drifting helped me get in a better place in the business life, on the business side of it. Drifting did that for me.
Do you think if you didn't have that childhood that you'd even probably be involved in DriftHQ or like to that extent?
I don't think so. I don't think I would have ever made to America.
No way.
Yeah.
So is Brazil like really that bad?
It's not that's that bad. It's either you're rich or you're poor. There's no middle class, right? Yeah, and it's opportunities there aren't. They're not very. They don't come around very often. But it was more like, I think if my dad hadn't passed away, we would have never moved, right? So my dad passing away was a big change. Was a big like, okay, Brazil is rough. Like my mom wanted to give us a better life. You know, let's give it a try in America.
Yeah, she didn't have the protector of the house and all that stuff anymore.
So like education, financial, let's just go to America, right? So then that, and then what I went through after moving here, because everyone thinks, oh, it's just go to America and you're rich. No.
Full of shit.
So then we come here and then she's busy working 14 to 16 hours a day. And then I went from a kid to a grown up within a year and a half being here.
You said you had siblings?
Brother. Older brother.
Okay. So was he, you said older?
Older.
So he's like raising you almost. Is he like raising you at that point?
Nah,
or helping? Or
not
you're
really.
grown enough?
Not really. Yeah, he was doing his thing and I was doing my thing. You know, he helped. He would help, but it wasn't like, okay, he's sacrificing for me. It was more like he did his thing and I did mine, and
that's so
that's
insane.
It. Yeah.
And you said you're 25 now.
35.
35. I was about to say, you carry yourself way older than 25. There's no fucking way.
I'm 35, yeah.
That's still surprising.
Yeah.
I would have guessed you were younger than that, actually.
So my childhood definitely helped me. And I guess, I don't know what they said, that my come up is the drive, you know, not having things and having to fight for everything that I've had, and finding the drive and drifting, giving me a drive on the business side to be able to do the drifting, you know, like completely helped me. And just, I've always been ambitious, but humble at the same time, right? I came up with Smoke Daddy, right? People, oh, this Smoke Daddy. Why Smoke Daddy? I've always had, I like the V8s because, you know, V8s usually put a lot of smoke, especially when you have a longer, you know, the S14 diffs. They don't come very short. So with the V8 on it, you're pretty much making more smoke than a regular stock car, right? And then from there, the other cars, and then the grill, the steak, the picanhas. You know, if anyone has been around and has eaten my picanha, if you ask about it, they'll know. You know what I'm saying? So I created a food program in 2022 and 2023 where I served clutch kickers and I served USDC.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
I forgot all about. I went. I think you did a fun day or something, and I ate y'all's food while I was there because I did one clutch kickers event.
Bro,
good as fuck, dude.
2 years. I was selling about, I would say per weekend, about 600 to 700 meals. Like I would go into the clutch kickers in Pensacola, right? I would show up. The boys would pre-order meals for 22 people, all their staff. So you do 22. Per 22 per meal, lunch and dinner Saturday, lunch and dinner Sunday. That was just the organizers, and they never want anything for free. They wanted to support my business because I did it to help me support the drifting, right? It's expensive, right? And there's a point that you can no longer take from the outside. You got to figure it out how to make it happen within. And I couldn't keep draining the other side I had to figure out. So we did it for 2 years, and I would go and I'll contact all the drivers, and they'll order, I'll take 6 people. So 6 times 4, that's 24 meals, right? I'll take 10, like bigger groups, like even ours, DriftHQ, the arts is like, yo, we're 15, then we're paying 15. Like this is your hustle, right?
At least they respect it. Yeah, that's awesome.
100, like we always supported each other, right? And then it was literally between 500 to 700 meals, depending on the weekend that we'd sell. I'll pull up the trailer. My mom would come help me.
You're a madman, dude.
Bro, when I tell you that, and people know, like when people about my food and the steak, I'm gonna tell you a very crazy story. The first round of Pro-Am in Orlando in 2023, I'm on practice, right? I understeer, I hit the wall, and then I'm waiting for the toll. Jackson comes to talk to me. I was like, yo, so you good? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm good. He's like, okay, we're gonna wait for the tow truck. I'm like, all right, can I leave? He goes, why? What do you mean? I was like, can you just take the car? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, all right, thank you. So I walk off. I pull my driver's suit out. I tie it on my waist, and I come up. The same way I walk off the track, I go in straight to the grill, turn the grill on, and start.
Oh, no way.
Oh, bro, I'll never forget. There's memories that you never forget.
That's hilarious.
Because I knew that I had a time to serve my lunches, and I was never late. My lunches and my dinner, there was a time for everything. So I did that. I made it work, but it was very exhausting. So after those years, I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. It was exhausting, man. Like while everyone was here hanging out having a beer, I was going to Walmart to get fresh stuff. Because my stuff was never frozen. It was always fresh. Everything fresh, everything made fresh, everything cut fresh, everything done fresh. Nothing, I seasoned this on Wednesday. Let me try to, grill it now. None of it. It was always fresh. So like a lot of people know me from DriftHQ, Smoke Daddy, my food, my steak, and just, I'm a big teddy bear. I'm always smiling. I'm always happy. It's always a good time. I love everyone. I don't feed into the BS. I don't hate anyone. I don't have enemies. That's it.
That's so crazy, dude.
That's Savio.
What a story.
Yeah. I mean, I can sit
Do you
here
ever think
for 3
you'll bring
days.
the grill back?
So I usually bring the grill everywhere I go. Right?
Yeah.
This week, it was a very rough week for me. I was at a wedding outside of the country. I came back a little sick, worked a couple days, very exhausted, didn't have the mindset or anything, went straight from work to the airport. Didn't have time to do anything, sent the boys on the road the day before so I could fly in. But I usually, when we go to fun events, I usually have my grill. I have my grill on the side. I have the meals. I make my rice, my salad, grill the steaks, grill the chicken, grill the wings, whatever I'm doing. It's always there.
Well, next time I'm at an event and you got the grill, dude,
Oh,
I will
you're more
pay
than
you for
welcome.
some fucking food, man.
And that's what I've always said is, if you're ever at a track and you need a water or you're hungry, you can always walk into my trailer. You're either gonna find food, snack, and a drink. We have always been about giving it back to the community. That was our main thing, agreement that we had, me and Duarte, was we're always gonna give back to the community, and we have since the beginning, right? And I'm never gonna change that. Like if you look there right now, you're gonna see a table. Is the table there? Oh no. Do you see a table next to the cooler now?
No.
No, they put it away. But there's a table.
They
The
probably
table
moved it.
has fruits, granola bars, energy bars, beef jerky, what else? Chips. There's snacks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, snacks all day. So,
Just a big dad.
Yeah, that's we all had our role.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
So we all had our role. I put it like that.
That's so cool. Well, to anyone out there that you could give any advice to, not just for drifting, but in chasing their dreams and all that stuff, what would it be?
So, chasing the dreams, I say, I always tell people this, and people think that I'm very selfish when I say this, but 40 hours is not gonna get you anywhere, right? 40 hours is not gonna get you anywhere. And if you have kids, 40 hours are not gonna get your kids through college, right? And if your kids understand, if your kids wanna go to college and they're gonna have to accept sacrifices, but 40 hours ain't it, right? And anything you do, you put a lot of love and commitment to it. But the most important, you put God first. Everything that you put God first and you bring God into it, and He blesses it, that's it.
That's awesome.
It's a done
Nobody
deal.
says that in drifting. That's really cool.
It's a done deal. It's a done deal. Like, I am here today because of Him. You know, it's a done deal. We forget sometimes. We think that we have control of everything. We don't. Not one bit, yeah. So, but that's that. You know, 40 hours is not gonna do it. Put God first and work hard, love others, spread the love, spread the gospel, and it comes back, man. You don't do it expecting, but it's just, it happens, right? It happens.
Good, man.
Yeah.
That's good advice, and it's really cool to hear some of the stories. I'm gonna have to plan a trip back down to Florida, and I'll stop in by, even if I have to come down to you, I will, and we'll do a full episode,
I got a little
man.
shop, and I'll set up a little grill, and you know what? I actually did a podcast with the boys down in South Florida, and I grilled the picanha on the garage. While we were doing the podcast, the picanha was grilling like right here. Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, most definitely, man. If you go to the compound and you want to set something up, I'll drive up. If you want to come down to Fort Myers, I got a bedroom. You guys can come stay. I got a little shop. We can do something in the shop.
That, man.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. And I appreciate you having me.
Dude, you're welcome anytime.
Like I said,
awesome.
I apologize we couldn't do it at 4th of July, but
No, man.
I knew it was.
Dude, I've been waiting on Grant for like 2 years now. He's been right next to me at every polecat.
Yeah, but I appreciate it, man, and thank you for doing this. You know, you bring a lot of information, and you bring all of us together, some way or in one way or the other.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Not everyone is getting out here and doing what you are, and I see that, and you got to recognize. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Thank you.
I just want people to have access to the information that I was too scared to ask for whenever I was starting.
Yeah. Well, it's
been my whole point of it.
Yeah, I mean, I try to help as much as I can when people reach out, and for drifters is and advice is, I mean, try to start on a budget, right, and then go from there.
Yeah, go get you one of these sedans, even though mine's not working very well right now.
Bro, you can't go wrong with the G35s, 350Zs. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. When you're a beginner, you're not an aggressive driver. The DEs will do you well.
All right, perfect.
And then you can move on to a better engine. But those, with the right parts, it's a budget car. You can have a lot of fun on it. A lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I preach that it seems like every podcast now. But hell yeah, dude. Well, it's getting dark on us, so we'll wrap it up here. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Obviously, I'm going to plan that eventually just to come down. But let me know if you guys want to see that. And yeah, I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
To the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want 4-4-4, then I leave her. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach her. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater.